Been walking for a while now. Walked from all the way from the other side of the world to here now, and we have here. What's your name?
I'm Federica. Nice to meet you.
Federica from. Let me do that again one more time.
Federica
Federica from where?
from Italy.
From Italy, right? Whereabouts Italy?
What about Italy? Oh, you have to come to Italy. It's
Tell me a place. Is it Napoli or Sicily?
from Calabria. It's
Calabria.
south.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think like you lot got some good cooking. There's something always interesting about Italy, right? Okay, so today I'm here, right? My channel's got different content. We talk about say women's right. We talk about sustainability, activism in general, right? So today, my take is to go up to people and talk about say climate change, right? So I want to ask you, what's your understanding of climate change?
Well, it's a particular issue. We have to think about it right now because I think it's also too late right now to think about climate change. But each one of us has to do something daily to preserve the environment and also to leave a good planet better than how we found it.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think what you're saying is important. We want to leave the planet for a better place for younger children's,
Yeah.
who's going to be, there in the next 50 years, right? I want to ask you, do you know about COP26, COP27? Conference of Parties happened last year in Glasgow, then happened in Egypt this year, where a group of world leaders come together and they talk about the climate and how
Like the G20, G8, something like
yeah,
this.
the world leaders from that
Okay.
will come through and they will sit down together and they will delegate about how to achieve global net zero, which means to get
Emissions.
the emissions to net zero, right? So I want to ask you, what's your take? Because like it's quite obvious because you're Italian. Italian people are very straightforward people, so you're not gonna bullshit me anyways, right? And I can see that you're very straightforward, right? What would you say about world leaders, right, who come out with these ridiculous goals 2030 2050
Yeah.
by 2000, right? They want to have the temperature not rise a certain limit, right? uh they have all these goals but they are failing to actually make that a reality. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a really complex question because I studied international relationships, so I have a little culture about this, about how people they govern the world and so on. But I think that uh, if if the powerful people that you talk about before, they don't understand that there is people that in the world that they don't need and they don't have any food like
Okay.
this. So it's okay. It's important to have principles and values and goals to reach and so on. But if you turn on your back, there are a lot of people that they die on the street. They don't have a house. They don't have food. This uh, unequal distribution of the capital and the money and so
Yeah.
on. This must be changed. But it's a utopia, I think.
Utopia, what do you mean?
Utopia for me. It means that it's something that could happen, but people don't make it happen because it's easier that the world runs like this. Maybe people that maybe, uh, you know, what is the word in English? I don't remember. People that live in poverty and people that are rich. It's
Okay.
easier like this for people who govern.
Okay. I
But
get
climate change affects everyone.
affects everyone, right? If you see there's cases like I don't know if you know about China. China, the air is very polluted, right? Down the children are now being born with asthma.
Yeah.
It's a common cause or the consequences of say emitting so much, and their country relies heavily upon coal, right? So in COP26, right, which was last year, right, happened in Glasgow, they came up with saying, they're gonna phase out coal, which is to stop coal consumption fully, right? But when that was going on, there was a coal mine that was opening up in the UK and few places around the world, right? So I want to understand, like, what do you think? Obviously, because money has a big part to play. Because
Yeah.
I think it's in a profit of a people, always has been, right? What would you say to someone who doesn't get that climate change is caused by selected group of people that's in power, that governs, the world, and they are okay with it, and we as people have to live in such situations where we're the sufferers, right? Because these people that you don't see, like I'm not talking about the government officials or the politicians, I'm talking about the people that's at the very top, like the very top, right? They have like a gated fence, like some little farm, everything natural, nature. And what would you say about that? Do you think greed has a lot to play with it?
Well, it depends on each one of us, I think. Putting the how it's the finger in someone and tell you're not doing
She's
right.
gonna shoot me, people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not doing right.
Yeah.
You're wrong. It's not helpful. You
Yeah.
have to change you for first. So yes, have a unsustainable life. You know, do recycling and so on. I think this is the base to.
Yeah. No, I get it, but like, let's go back to Italy because you're
Okay.
from there, right? How is climate change affected certain regions of Italy? Would you say, like, is there like a real evidence there, like, oh, like this is happening in Italy, like you can see it? Because I think there was, I don't know if it was Italy, but there was few fires, wildfires that started.
Yeah, I come from Scalea. It's a near village in Calabria, and in the last 10 years, I've never. Well, I'm 26. I'm not so old, but
You're younger than me, right? I'm gonna be 29 coming week, so lucky you.
thank you.
You know.
So when it's really windy, the sea destroys everything, and this is it's happening more often than before.
Okay, so where would you think the world is heading if people don't make immediate, actions? People don't take immediate actions because, like last year, this whole few wildfires and stuff. There's typhoon storms. I went to Hong Kong, like say a few years ago, and there was typhoons, and I'd go out and a tree that's bigger than say that, like say about 5 times bigger than that, came off the ground. It's quite, there is a lot of evidence to show that there is a lot of climate change, right? What do you feel about, say people younger than us, people who just born this very minute, who's going to enter into a world where not where they're going to enter into a world where everything around them is going to be unhealthy? Because I think the air that we breathe, yeah, that's all right, safe. The air that we breathe, right, has everything to do with how we live. If you live in a place where it's a countryside where there is no pollution, you feel better. But if
Yeah.
you live in a place where there's a lot of pollution, you can't see the sky. What's your take, from your experiences?
Well, the phrase that is impactful is "There's no planet B." So please think about what you're doing every time. For example, you throw something in on the floor, or you take too long your shower. Just think about it. There are people in the world that don't have your same possibility to use water and use visit sustainable places. So think about it. We don't have a planet B.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna finish off with one more question. What do you think is the consequences of us and the progression of climate change, and there's not been something done to actually fight climate change? Because there's a lot of broken promises, right, by world leaders, right? So, what do you think the consequences of that? Where do you think the world will go if there was no change?
In a catastrophic way, I think.
Okay.
Like how we can see from lot of films that they made in the last year, for example, 2012 and the end of the world. Yeah, I can imagine something like this. Everything that is burning and I'm a catastrophe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you said, like, and I do agree, like, even what you talked about Calabria in Italy, right? The things that's going on and the things that's going around the world. Like, if you see the past 3 years, right? There's been so much severe weather destructions. I think everything's just adding up into one big thing, like the poor souls that passed away, the beautiful souls that passed away in Turkey. So that's one thing, but that was an earthquake. It was to do with the tectonic plates, earthquake, right?
Yeah.
But I think everything that we do on the outside has something something that will be on the inside.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I believe that the earth is a living organism. You know, it's a, you know, ecosystem. You know, it's a living organism. So when you start destroying, example, deforestation in Brazil, they've taken out all these trees, thousands of trees are cut down per hour or whatnot, right? It has a big effect on the pollution levels, because these trees absorb carbon dioxide to release oxygen, right? To finish off, if an ignorant person is watching this, right, and he goes, well, you two, you know, you could go grab a meal, you know, just F off, whatever, right? What would you say to that ignorant person? You can use any language, I'm alright with it.
Okay. You're part of the world. Let's
Yeah.
accept it. Okay? You're a being human that lives in a world with
Yeah.
other being human and in a planet that it's like us. You know, a tree is like a human. How it's the word in English? It exhales.
Breathes. Breathes.
Yeah. And so let's accept it. You're part of the world. You have to be a good person.
Sweet. You know, we got, you know, how'd you say amiga?
Amiga.
Amiga. You know, here, you know, that means for the people. What does it mean?
It's friends.
Friends. And yeah, sweet. Thank you for the interview. And you know, it's just great speaking to you and speaking to the people. Hopefully, because I interviewed two ladies beforehand, but they had to go and grab some food. So
Okay.
the interview went on for like about 2.5 minutes, and then they're like, we need to go grab some food.
I
So-
already eat, so it's okay.
Okay. She wants to stay here for another, you know, say hour. So that's all right. Sweet. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I'll give you my YouTube. You got a phone?